Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Sorry, guys, when I fell asleep late, because usually that's what I do, and then I woke up, lo and behold, we have another leftist terrorist attack. Oh, it's just all so surprising. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting real tired of going to sleep and then waking up and hearing something else crazy that's been going on, like people dying, executed, assassination. It's like when I woke up on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, that is what happened. I literally just woke up. I woke up, looked up at it, and then I'm like, I have to report on this. This is way too big. I have to report on this. And it seems that I'm reporting earlier and earlier now because this is all insane. And it needs to stop. This violence needs to stop, guys. Like, enough is enough. What we have here is this from ABC News saying sniper opens fire on Dallas facility, killing 2 detainees, wounding 1. I think it's actually up to 3 dead now, but I could be wrong. It says a sniper opened fire on the Dallas Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office on Wednesday morning, killing 2 detainees and critically wounding a third. The Department of Homeland Security said. Dallas police initially said 1 victim was killed and 2 were wounded. Although only detainees were shot, the Department of Homeland Security called the shooting an attack on ICE law enforcement. The shooter, who was on a nearby rooftop, fired indiscriminately at the ICE building, including at a van in the Sally Port where the victims were shot. The shooter died from self-inflicted gunshot wound. So he took himself out because these people are the utmost cowards. Because if they did catch him, they would find out that he was the one that he was being related to Antifa, which we still have information on that as well, by the way. The FBI said the shooting is being investigated as an act of targeted violence. FBI agent Joe Rothrock, who said it appeared that rounds found near the suspected shooter contained messages that are anti-ICE in nature. FBI Kash Patel released images of recovered unspent shell casings, including the one engraved with the phrase anti-ICE, and DHS released a photo that appears to show a gunshot in an American flag display. And this is the actual, cartridge here casing. You could clearly see the anti-ICE mark there. So yeah, that's what we have here with this whole situation going on. And we're going to go with what is going on with the FBI director, what's going on with Kash Patel, and all this stuff. So without further ado, let's go. So as it says, this morning, just before 7 a.m. local time, an individual fired multiple rounds at a Dallas, Texas ICE facility, killing 1, wounding several others before taking his own life, which apparently this got up to 2, and on which I think it was now even 3. Could be wrong. FBI, DHS, ATF are on the ground with Dallas PD and state authorities. While the investigation is ongoing, an initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind this attack. One of the unspent shell casings recovered was engraved with the phrase anti-ICE. More updates will be forthcoming. These despicable, politically motivated attacks against law enforcement are not a one-off. We are only miles from Pearland, Texas, where just 2 months ago, an individual ambushed a separate ICE facility targeting their officers. It has to end, and the FBI and our partners will lead these investigative efforts to see to it that those who will target our law enforcement are pursued and brought to the fullest extent of justice. Thankfully, no law enforcement personnel were injured. Please pray for the injured and deceased. Now, a lot of the left are saying, well, it's weird that 2 detainees were just murdered, right? They were just taken out. Well, the thing is, it looks like he fired sporadically. It does not look like he was actually focusing on one thing here. But again, this is what the left is going to be using. We have this here in the actual FBI special agent in charge on the facility shooting, and he goes on to say what is going on here.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence, to include here in North Texas, where back on July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado, Texas. What I can also share with you is that early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature. Again, this is just the most recent example of this type of attack. This will be a whole of government response. There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable. I can confirm at this.
Yeah, so it ain't looking great here, right? It's looking pretty bloody bad. And again, we're waking up to this violence consistently. Now, we have MSNBC that's talking about this, but I'm going to put them on the laughter burner. It says, Jack Posobiec has said human evidence told Dallas shooter is another young man born in 1996, anti-ICE motive. We have this here as well, where we have this more a little bit from the per FBI, where he says about this.
Early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature. Early evidence.
Yeah, as we can see on the shell casings. And you have this here to where, again, we're not going to do that yet. So we have this here say that MSNBC is saying white supremacy is the expression for the suspect this morning. So that's what they're going to do with here. And let's go.
What do you
of those attacks?
Chris, coming back to rooftop trend, coming back to engraving trend, what do you make of that? Does that suggest people are being inspired? Are you worried about copycats?
Yes. I don't know if the rooftop trend is going to be a thing. I mean, it could just be coincidental that the best vantage point just happened to be elevated positions in this case. But, people emulating this kind of attack is certainly a concern. The irony with the writing, the first time we really saw that was Brenton Tarrant in the Christchurch shooting in a mosque in New Zealand. And he was a fierce, white supremacist and neo-Nazi, and wrote all over his weapon and his rounds very hateful information. So to see this coming from, potentially the other side of the political spectrum is a little strange because it is not something, if you are trying to, carry out some kind of message countering, more extreme right-wing stuff. I don't know why you would, use a tactic that a famous white supremacist who has been revered and copycatted over the years by other white supremacists, why you would do that. But it does appear that people are moving in that direction because they want people to know what they're doing and why they're doing it. Again, terrorism is theater. They want people to understand their message and why they're doing this and why, in some cases it's a narrow act of violence and it's not supposed to be a mass murder, although it looks like it's moving a little more in that direction.
Well, again, 2 people confirmed dead, including the shooter at.
Yes, because the shooter decided to take the coward's way out. We have more from J.D. Vance, but we're not going to go do that right now. So we have this, the opposite here. MSNBC suggests that leftist terrorists who are writing political messages on bullets are actually being influenced by right-wingers because, that's a thing, right? That's been going on, right? Right-wingers are causing this, even though it can be further from the truth. It's your own politicians. I want to get onto that later. We have this here where we have Laura Loomer saying, I did a background check on Joshua John, the ICE shooter in Dallas, Texas. Joshua John's profile from this now white Facebook page, per the background check results, reveals Antifa and communist imagery. The profile photo is of an armed communist with a hammer and sickle. The text reads, glorious exposition, comrade. He has also a previous conviction for selling marijuana, which I don't care for, honestly. So we have this here. This is Joshua Jam, born in April 1996, Fairview, Texas. This is also in line with Jack Posobiec's here with the born in 1996. So there you have it. You have the contact information and whatever. So we have that. And then the record, county, the court findings, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. And this is also his glorious exposition comrade. So, yeah. That's not too far off with what we have here. We have this here. This ICE official is hammering Democrats for fueling attacks like what have happened in Dallas this morning. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the acting field office director for ICE Dallas. I'll be brief with my comments, but I do want to start off by saying thank you to the Dallas Police Department, Dallas FBI, HSI, CBP, ATF, and virtually every law enforcement officer in North Texas for your support. This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities, and I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop. There are people out there who are seeing what is being placed online, and they're coming and they're doing acts of violence against ICE employees. So that's kind of all I have for today, is that it's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives. Thank you.
He's right. It has to stop. And Ted Cruz has something to say about this as well, because he says this needs to stop. Politicians are using rhetoric that demonizes ICE and CBP. Need to stop.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop. To every politician demanding that ICE agents be doxxed and calling for people to go after their families, stop. This has very real consequences. Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis.
No, they're not. But the Democrats don't care. The Democrats don't care because they're trying to use fear in order to get what they want. You have this here from Reddit Lies. Pretty much saying, American citizen finally kidnapped by ICE. This is from Reddit, by the way. People need to start blasting. Shoot first, ask later. Those kidnappers, take them out. They push us to the point of violence. Sorry, Reddit censors, but this is an undeniable fact. There are more on the left with the pew-pews than you might think. Karl Marx was very pro-pew-pew. Well, since the king just took the capital city by force with the military, perhaps it's time to fight back if these people exist. Those agents should be handcuffed behind their backs and given 10 seconds a head start. I'll get banned if I say what I really think about happened here. And it says, mass DHS agents smash out windows and fire gunshots into the side of the vehicle. Wake up, America. It's time for action. It is time, people. They've made the first shots. Now it's time to return the favor. Let's escalate. I see no reason why we shouldn't be all carrying and be paired at this point. It's time to stay strapped or get trapped, America. It's that time. Put the pedal to the metal and smoke the mother effers. Hey, everyone, this is it. If you didn't have a line before, then this doesn't draw you on your officially insane. Using your rights to bear, you are running out of time. Don't act like politicians will fix this all for us. They're what got us into this mess by standing by. And we have this here where 6 women arraigned on charges related to Alvarado ICE attack, which this correlates with Andy No, with, he says, update, 3 more arrested in North Texas Antifa ICE terror attack. And it goes on here to say that 3 additional suspects have arrested in connection with alleged North Texas Antifa cell accused of carrying out a domestic terrorist attack, shooting an ICE detention facility in Alvarado, bringing the total number charged to 17 so far. So, yeah, that's what we have here, guys. These are all the people that are being arraigned. Now, we're finally going to go on to wrap this up with J.D. Vance really laying it into the Democratic Party because they have blood on their hands.
And I think that is the most disgusting thing. The very people who keep us safe ought to be honored and protected and praised by Democrats and Republicans alike. It is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
Absolutely destroyed them. And now I'm going to lay out my opinions on this. I agree with JD Vance wholeheartedly. I think that these Democrats need to be arrested. I think that these Democrats need to be facing inciting violence and terroristic threats, because at this point, them saying this and them keep on doing this is pretty much saying, please keep on doing this, leftists. We need to do this. Like, what are we doing here exactly? This is not okay. Democrats, why are you advocating for violence? Why are you keep on advocating to keep on doing this type of stuff? Because now you have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hands, and you won't stop. It's disgusting. Like, I am sick and tired of Democrats just straight up, just constantly, over and over and over again, doing this violent rhetoric, saying ICE agents are bad, Republicans are Nazis, they're fascists, they're evil people, every name in the book, they're Hitler. Like, this is what the Democrats are saying here, and it needs to stop. It literally needs to stop. What are we doing here? This is the reason why we cannot be nice to these people anymore. Democrats need to start getting arrested. And if they're not getting arrested, we need to force Donald Trump and the rest of these politicians to have them arrested. Because at this point now, they are the ones inciting violence. They're the ones inciting terroristic threats. They're the ones that are causing this mayhem and destruction. And if they are not arrested, it will keep on happening. People will keep on dying until they are arrested. So arrest these Democrats for those charges that I just mentioned. It wouldn't be hard because you could always coordinate them to other people getting arrested and being attacked. It's disgusting. It needs to stop. And no more. I am sick and tired of waking up to violence every day. I am so tired of it. Every day I lay my head down on my bed, I sleep, and then I wake up and there's more violence. Stop it. Arrest these Democrats now and start going after Antifa now. Enough is enough. We need to protect our citizens. We need to protect our people before it gets out of control. It's already out of control, honestly. We need to stop the violence. We need to stop the death. And the Democrats need to bring the temperature down. They're the ones that are doing this, and they're the cause of all the death and destruction within our country. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.